Hello and welcome. Good morning, good evening, and good night. My name is Gabriel Grams, and I am excited to invite you into my cocina. Mi cocina es tu cocina. Today, we are going to be making pork belly. Crispy skin pork belly. It is delicious. Now, the first time I had it, I was in Lima, Peru. I know, above all the places, out of all the places in the world, it was Lima, Peru, in a shopping center called El Polo. And it was fantastic. I enjoyed it. Every Sunday we would go, my family would go to El Polo, and they had an amazing Chinese buffet there. And that was like the dish that I was always going to and getting seconds and thirds. And well, you know what that is all about, right? This is going to be fantastic. Now, there are several recipes for pork belly on the internet, and I am going to be using two of them. Now, all of them have crispy, the crispy skin. Now that's very important. That is like key to it. There's other ways to prepare pork belly, like braised and then stir fried. I'm not going to focus on that. We're going to be focusing on the ones that have the crispy skin, because that is the best. Okay, so how do you do it? One of them is about frying the skin side down into the oil, and the other one is adding salt and then baking it at a higher temperature, closer to the, at the end of the cooking, at a broil. And that helps crisp the skin. So we're gonna see which one tastes the best. Are you ready to come with me? I can't wait to bring you along on this adventure. And if you haven't already, why don't you go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that like, comment below, what do you like in a Chinese buffet? Okay, first things first, this looks like Nevada. I'm gonna go ahead and square this piece of meat up. We are going to take this beautiful cut of meat and cut it down the middle so that each one can have its own separate recipe. This is the side that we are going to use. We're going to fry it on. Okay, so this one we're going to just cut just the top part of the skin. There we go. There. That's good. Right there is what you need. So that is how it opens up right there. And then on this one, we're not going to do it that way. We are going to cut it from below. We are going to do the same kind of cut, but we're going to stop just before we get to the skin. Okay? Now, this is going to be an interesting variation because the flavor is going to be able to get in between the meat, and that may alter the flavor, may boost the flavor of this recipe over this one. We'll see. All right, here we go. On this one, I am going to do a different variation of the cooking process. I am going to boil it in water for about 3 minutes. Okay, while we're waiting for that water to start boiling, let's go ahead and start preparing our other piece of meat. We want to make sure that this side of the meat stays as dry as possible. So I'm going to put that on a piece of paper. And then on this side, I am going to put a dry rub. Now, the dry rub in all the different recipes is about the same. About a teaspoon of organic, or not organic, but Chinese 5-spice. An equal amount of brown sugar. And salt. All right. Now, because brown sugar burns at high temperatures, we want to make sure that nothing gets on the other side of the piece of meat. So mix this up really good. And we are going to apply this to this side of our meat. And we're going to apply it to all the area. So the back, the sides. And if you need more, apparently I need more, just make more. Let me get more here. 3 of that. There. There. I'm thinking, and I'm going to go ahead and make enough for the other piece of meat once it finishes boiling for a little bit. So go ahead and add salt and the 5 spice. There. The piece of bread, the piece of paper right here is keeping the other side dry as possible, and as clean as possible from all the sugar that we're putting on it. All right, it's almost ready. And whenever you can, always try to make it more flavorful. So I have some Chinese onions. You don't have to worry about the roots. But what I did do is I beat it up a little bit so that it start releasing its essence into the water. Whoa. Then some ginger root. It's going to add flavor to the water. Mushrooms, 2 mushrooms. All right, it is boiling. And let's go ahead and put our belly in. It's not going to be in there for too long. There we go. 3 minutes. We have the boiled pork skin here, and it's a little bit hot. We're going to let it stay. And as we let that rest for a little bit, we're going to go back to this one. Look how the sugar and the salt has pulled out moisture already from the meat. So let me set this off to the side just a little bit. And we're going to pull out some aluminum foil to create our own little pan. We're going to be very careful and pick up our belly. Put it in here. Look at that. It's not on the skin. That's super good. All right, now let's center it. And we're going to create a boat. There we go. You can see I don't do this all the time, so I'm not very proficient in the boat making, but I am working through this. There we go. Now this we are going to put in the refrigerator and let it stay 12 to 24 hours. Let's put a bit of this Himalayan salt on top of it. Not a lot, just a little bit. Make sure that it gets into some of these grooves. All right, this one's ready for the refrigerator. Now let's go for the other pork belly. Remember, idea is to keep the skin dry. So put it there, and this looks amazing. Oh, I can't wait to eat this. So put all this in here, and we are going to make sure that it goes into every one of these crevices that we made. The 5 spice is just an interesting spice. It has a cinnamon and nutmeg smell to it. 3.5 hours later. All right. 3.5 hours later, we see on this side, this is the one that we are going to now fry. I'm going to put the oil that's in this pan, a little bit of oil, and we're going to fry the top over here. And this one on this end, we're going to put it back in the oven at 450 degrees, closer to the top, to see if we can get this top a little bit more crispy. And here it goes. But you know what? Like I said, I don't think I got the crackling. This is a pork belly without the skin. All right, let's review. This is the one that we just put in the broiler. And I put it in for 15 minutes. I didn't even get through the 15 minutes. I started to char on the edges, so I pulled it out. And this one over here is the one that we just finished doing before that, just low and slow for 250 degrees Fahrenheit for 3.5 hours. Listen to this. They have a great sound, but what do they taste like? I'm a little concerned about the size of this part of this pork belly. It's super thick on this end and not so thick on this end. We'll see. Can't wait. Very good. I'm super excited about this. Let's look at this one first. And let's go with the small side. Now, again, no skin. This is just the fat. Look how I cut it. So it's easier to cut if I flip it over and cut along the pre-cut area like that. What do you think? Okay, now let's cut this one. the pre-cut area here is on the top. A little bit different. So, the difference, what I notice here, right off the bat, is that the meat, of course, there's much more flavoring on the meat here than on this side. But I like the marbling of the, and I love the crispiness also of the fat on this. It looks really good. Let's see. All right. Let's taste this. Soft, buttery, delicious, very flavorful. And this one, this one has more of a smoky bacon flavor to it. I don't know. I'm thinking I'm liking this one more. And why not try again? It's so good. First of all, pork belly. It's melt in the mouth, delicious. Both of these techniques taste amazing. Okay, but of the two techniques, I'm gonna have to go with this charred technique, where we boiled it first, and then after we boiled it, then we dried it out, then we cooked it for 250, then we raised the temperature. I think that one is the best one for me. Again, it has more of a smoked flavor to it, which is what I enjoy. But neither one of these pork bellies have the skin on it. I mean, that's part of the pleasure of enjoying pork belly. But without a doubt, these pork bellies are going to taste fantastic on a bowl of rice, on top of a mound of vegetables. My mouth is watering thinking about broccoli, green sprouts, snow peas. Oh my goodness, I can't wait. What else? This will be really good on some noodles, a bowl of noodles. Put a little chunk of this pork belly on the noodles. It will match so well. The saltiness of the soup with the sweetness and the saltiness of the pork will blow your mind. I can taste the 5 spices, the Chinese 5 spices, which are amazing. It has a nutmeg cinnamon flavor to it. I think what I'm going to do next time is cut down just slightly. I was using a 1-to-1 ratio. I'm going to cut down a little bit slightly on the amount of the 5 spice that I add. I think it doesn't really need it. The vinegar that we added in the sauce, in the mustard sauce, that made the pork flavor explode in your mouth. And that also offsets the saltiness of the pork itself. Thank you so much for coming. If you've enjoyed this recipe as much as I've enjoyed the recipe of making it for you, please give me a like, share this with your friends and your family. Tell me what you like to eat. What kind of pork do you like to eat below in the comments? Thank you so much. And as always, remember, mi cocina es tu cocina. See you until next time.